Alright guys, welcome back. So this is going to be the inner cab corner and outer cab corner episode, and I have the inner cab corner cut out here. So I've drilled myself a spot weld hole here, here, and up here. I'll probably need to hit this with a hammer to fold it in a little bit more. It's not a perfect fit yet. And here's what I've got mocked up. So I'm just going to put some weld on here. My gaps are a little bit thick for now, but that's just what I have to work with. Piece isn't quite a perfect fit. Alright, so the rest of this went a lot easier. This part here was just not really working out for me at all, so I did some really nasty welds on there, and it's in there, it's not going anywhere. It just looks like hell. Luckily it's going to be covered up by the cab corner, so I'll get to that next. Alright, so I grabbed my cab corner panel, I just kind of put it up into place, roughly where I think it's going to go, and I just made a mark. I'm going to cut well above this mark here just to be really generous to make sure that I don't cut off too much metal. Alright, so there we can see that I've got my bottom angle here looks pretty good, and it looks like I'll have enough material to cut off. Let's just test fit it with the door here and see how that goes. Did the same thing with the rocker panel. So of course it's still just a little bit too thick, but it's not in yet. If it was down where it's supposed to be here, then it would probably be fine. Yeah, it's just really tight against the body here with this piece of trim on here. The door always closed fine before as well, so I'm not too worried about it. Drilled 3 holes for spot welds here. I'm just going to try to tack it in place. I'm going to come along with the zip disc afterwards and do my final cut, and hopefully this will be okay, just to tack it in place there and see if that'll work. I think we'll be fine there. Alright, I've been fighting with this cab corner here a lot, trying to get these tack welds to stay in place. They do for 5 seconds and then they fall off. Still having a hard time with penetration getting through the hole into the back panel. So I've done a bunch of ugly spot welds up here, and I'm going to cut that one flush once I get the panel lined up properly. The door is closing properly on it, so I just have to keep on spot welding and grinding it flush, and then get this bottom worked in eventually too. Okay, so I've got a bunch of ugly spot welds here. The problem is though, is the cab corner is too far out, so I'm gonna have to bang it down and get it in. Having a heck of a hard time with these bottom tack welds. I thought I'd get that part in first because I figured that would probably be the hardest part, and instead I've had to put in the top cab corner. I have test fit it with the door. It is tight, but it was always tight, so that's fine. And then this part back here, I'm just gonna have to get that cut out once I get this angle right. So I'm gonna work on that next here. Okay, so because I haven't ground this flush and I've been having too much of a hard time, the back of this panel here is clean. There's no paint on it whatsoever, and the bottom panel, the rocker panel in here, is clean as well. So I'm not really sure, or sorry, I guess it's the inner cab corner is clean as well, so I'm not sure why I'm having such a hard time getting it to weld up. Okay, so hopefully that'll be a little bit better. Now, you saw me hammer that in. This one here is bowing out every time that I was hammering that down and in, and I did have to make a little cut in here. I could not get the door to seal up. It's this thick all the way down, so I'll have to bang this around a little bit more and figure that out. So now I'm just gonna try to work the panel up and in just a tiny bit more. I personally would probably, if I paid for these panels, I'd probably just buy them from LMC Truck or something American like that. These ones came from Taiwan. They're not a perfect fit. You should not have to, or at least I don't think you should have to massage it with a hammer the way that I've been doing here. This is crazy. So. See if these ones will stick any faster. And I have cleaned up the metal on the inside here as well before I put this on. Alright, so I'll come back to that and grind that once I get this panel, the back side of the panel ground on. Alright, so I got the back of the cab corner panel trimmed, and it's fairly flush now, at least ready for me to weld. And now I just have to do some butt welding in here. I've got this V-notched and all cleaned up. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's not as hard as the rest of it was. Alright, so overall, not too bad. It's pretty ugly. Gonna have to grind it, gonna have to sand it down, thin layer of Bondo. My door never really fit perfect anyways, and I can see down here is good. This should have come out just a tiny bit more. Not gonna change it now. And down here on the rocker panel, there's a bit of a lip, but it was always like that. Even with the old panel, there's even more over here. I'm not gonna try to get this truck lined up. It's gone 4x4ing way too many times, and I don't think it's ever gonna be perfectly straight. But that makes me happy, and a lot better than having a rotten rocker panel and almost no cab corner left, as well as that box side there. So I think this concludes that for now. I'm gonna do the other side on my own. I'm sorry that this video wasn't much more detailed. It's just for such a simple thing, the kind of panels that I have, I just had a really tough time getting them in there, and for a first time thing, I don't want to steer you guys in the wrong direction. So thanks for watching as always, and check out my channel. I'll keep posting more videos. Thanks.